Hey guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with the meta video I was talking about. There. Um, so this is the top 8 decks that fought it out in the top 8 in the Vanguard tournament. So let's just say they are the meta decks for 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 reasons that let's just say they're meta. But I'll explain a couple of things beforehand. This year, the tournament is different because it's not that if you're after the Swiss, if you're the top 8, you go to top 8. It doesn't work like that anymore. How it works now is that from third place to eighth place in the Swiss tournament, um, there can only be one of the same nation. So basically, first two places don't count. So if Link Joker won first, and if Link Joker and Kagero won first, which they did, then the rest of the clans are still okay. But if Link Joker won third, then something like Nova Grapplers will not be able to advance to the top 8, even if they're like fourth or something. So that's how it works now. Basically, what happened was first place was in the Swiss was Kagero, and then it was Link Joker, and then after that it doesn't really matter, but it went something like that. It was like something like this, and 17th place was Great Nature, I believe. So 17th place got to make it to the top 8. That's quite it's quite funny actually. So yeah, so Great Nature also got to top because well, there aren't that many nations, right? So they would have to top anyway. Alright, so after the top 8, people duked it out for the first place, second place, and third place. And first place was Link Joker. This was not unexpected because Link Joker is a pretty good deck, and it was piloted by my friend, and he's a pretty good player. So I was not surprised when he won. Because I played against him last year in top 8, and yeah, it was quite intense. Alright, so first place was Link Joker. Second place was Revengers, I believe. Third place was I think it was Link Joker again, but I'm not entirely sure. And then yeah, so don't quote me on this, but this is how I remembered it. And fifth place was Tetra. Either fifth or fourth was Tetra Drive. But basically, the most important is Link Joker and Revenger for top 2. So the rest don't really matter. They're just here. And that's pretty much the meta. Link Joker is obviously one of the strongest decks in the meta right now. For those of you who did not agree with me, I'm pretty sure there's lots of proof that that is supporting that Link Joker is a very strong deck. I don't know why you guys are saying, oh, Link Joker is not very good. Yeah, it's not very good. But yeah, it's definitely a very strong deck. Whoa, what's up? Whoops. So yeah, it's a very strong deck. There's obvious reasons why it's so strong. Because once you can lock your opponent's front row attacks, there's not really much they can do about it, right? Like if they're locked, they're locked. I mean, there are ways you can prevent from doing this, like killing your units off so that they can't be locked, like with Revengers and things like Great Nature. And you can always use one man armies, which something like BN and Descendant. Tetra Drive is harder because once you get locked, it's kind of harder. Well, if they lock both your front rows, well, you're screwed. But Tetra Drive player was also my friend, so I was very impressed that he made it that far. And for the Singapore results, I'm not entirely 100% sure if this is correct or not, but my friend gave me this information, so I think it's safe to say it's accurate enough. So in Singapore, the decks that topped were Link Joker, second place was Pale Moon, so Luquier reverse, I think. Then it was Chat Noir for third place. Fourth place was Link Joker again, very impressive. And then fifth to eighth was, in no order apparently. It was Eradicators, Aquaforce, Dimensional Police actually. So I don't actually have my Dimensional Police cards with me right now, but you can just be like, okay, Dimensional Police top, that's quite impressive. So yeah, Dimensional Police also topped. I believe it's the it's I don't think it's the Crazy Diamond deck. Let's just freaking use this for visuals. So the meta in Singapore is different, obviously, from what happened in Hong Kong. But again, as you can see, Link Jokers are still, there's still 2 Link Jokers in the top 8, unlike all the other decks. There's only 1. So yeah. Alright, so as you can see, Link Joker has that consistent, win rate, I guess, since it is very strong. Honorable mention I should mention is Ethics Buster, because Ethics Buster did pretty well in the tournament in Hong Kong, except he was like a few points off from. I don't know how they calculated it, but since it is in the same time as Link Joker, it didn't get a top because apparently his small points were a little bit less than my friend's small points. Alright, so let's just talk about why these decks are topping. As I said before, jeez. For Great Nature, this deck can generate a lot of plus, and it can also sort of counter Link Joker because you can kill off your own units. So that's pretty important that way. So that's why it's one of the meta decks. If you combo it with Polaris, you can get a +4. So on that turn, almost it's like +3, +4. It's very strong. If you break right over break right over break right, you can still generate a lot of pluses. So this is a very strong deck. It's a very strong deck. This is actually one of my most fun decks. One of the most fun decks to play right now. So there we go. Eradicators. Let's not talk about Eradicators. They've been dominating the meta before, but of course they're not as strong anymore because when he stands up, he can't gain power. You have to do it beforehand. So there's that. Aquaforce. Aquaforce is a very strong deck, but I have a feeling that this deck would have been much more used if Link Joker did not exist. If Link Joker does not exist, this deck will run a lot smoothly because there's no people cock blocking you. So yeah, because like the transcore combo is actually very strong, and yeah. But from what I've heard, the Aquaforce deck in Singapore does not use Transcore. It ran Tri-Stinger, Benedict, and Tetra Drive Dragon, which I don't know really how it runs. I guess that the Tri-Stinger is used to unflip damage so you can stand him again, which is pretty good. But yeah, this deck is a deck. If they nerf this deck will probably be used a lot more. Dimensional Police, very good. Guard Crushing, nerfing your opponent's attack power, or getting extra crits. Those are all very, very powerful. So this deck, I'm not surprised that it topped in Singapore. It did not top in Hong Kong because, well, So what I think happened in Singapore is that these two decks just top 2 first, and then therefore you can have a Dimensional Police deck. That's what I think because yeah, because it wouldn't make sense other way. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the results that my friend gave me were the the after tournament results instead of the after top Swiss results. Right. So that's pretty much it. Why I think Lucriere is doing well is because you can get a +1 every turn if you're not up against Link Joker. And even if you are up against Link Joker, you don't have to use her effect, so you won't get blasted and stuff. And if you break ride, you can still get the extra attack off even if your opponent sealed your front row. So you'll still get 3 clean attacks off, which is what I think is pretty decent in today's meta. So yeah, these decks are pretty much the meta right now. So as you can see, it's actually quite diverse, aside from Link Joker, but yeah. So these are pretty much the decks that are topping and stuff. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure what happened in Taiwan because I don't have any friends over there that play Vanguard. But yeah, these are the top decks in the meta right now. I actually should have ran not Pale Moon. I think I might have had a better chance to top because there were quite a lot of United Sanctuary and Stargate users that day, so it was a bad idea for me to pick Link Joker. Another good option would have been Tetra Drive or Great Nature. So basically, if you want to play in tournaments, these 3 decks are pretty much the decks that you can go to because not compared to in their nation, these are pretty much the only options that you might run. You could run Bermudas, which I did see some people run, but they got owned. They got eliminated pretty early on in the game. Same with Musketeers. I saw 2 Musketeer decks that were there, and they got eliminated pretty early on. So if you want to play in tournaments, these 3 decks are a good idea to go with. If you want to win in tournaments, this deck is the ideal deck to go with. But again, there's going to be a lot of people using this deck, so you might not even get a chance to top 8. But if you want to top 8, these 3 decks up here are pretty good options to run. Alright, so I've been blabbering for long enough. This is Kartaku, and I will see you guys later. Bye.